Let's continue our lesson. So I opened another my project, custom project, and today we will discuss the upper panel of FlutterFlow. Here, there are different methods of testing your project or seeing how it will look when it's built. And the most simple way is this button, preview app. So if you click on this button, this page will open for you. Here you can see how it would look on the phone, on the mobile phone. Just the pages and its design. So here you can't, it's not connected with database yet, and here you can see all your fields on the database. Basically, only the design page and the navigation is available. We can see with this button all the pages, for example, and let's with this you can see all the pages and how its design look like. Let's find the login page. So here nothing important, just you can test how a Textfield would like and what will happen if certain buttons are clicked. So as I mentioned before, only navigation is available. This is the most easy way to test your app. Next is test mode. So if you click here and click on the test button, the app will be built in the debug mode. Debug is this is open. I already opened test mode, and debug means that here when it's already connected with database, you can see basic functionality of the app. However, in the debug mode, this means that if your application has some errors, it will show you exactly what errors are and will give you some hints to fix your bugs. For example, here, open profile. As you can see, here you can test fully your application functionalities. And if you find some bugs, you can come back, change something, and just press instant reload. This is hot reload if you know Flutter. This means that it will immediately update all your app in 10 seconds. This is very, very convenient to use. And after reloading, it will give all the changes of your app. However, this has limits, and the debug mode, this test mode is available only for 10 minutes. The next mode is run. Just you click on the button run, and it will open such kind of page. This is it's like final version, yes, unchangeable, and everything will be look like your user is already using your app. Here you can test it, how it would like, for example, in iPad or in different types of screens, for example, Pixel 3a, Samsung Galaxy S20, yeah, like that. Another interesting feature of FlutterFlow is you can share with builds of your mobile application with others just by sending them links. For example, here, this is my version that I built 5 minutes ago. You can just click on make it public, so it can be available for others. Copy the link and just send to another users. They can just click on this link, and this page will open for them, and they can just test your app for functionality. And run mode is also it has no limitations. It will work not only 10 minutes, but as it's finished app already, it will work every time until you close it, of course. And here you can also see all your previous builds, stories of your previous builds, and just come back see them just by making it public or by clicking on the link. This button with Android icon means building APK. If you know what's APK, there is no reason to explain it further, but if you don't know, this will build for you a file called your app name.apk, which means that you can open this file on your Android phone if you have it, and this will download this app's version to your Android phone. You can open it, test it just like simple Android user. For iOS, there is no such functionalities you should deploy in order to open it on iOS phone. Here, this is one of the most interesting features of FlutterFlow, is that you can see code. This will open you all the code base of this page. For example, you can see code base of another pages. You can see code base of certain widgets. For example, here column widget, how it's done, how on the code, and for example, write custom functions or give it to the Flutter developer in order for him to understand and improve your project further. Let's back to the project. Yes, here push to repository means you can save your project in the site called GitHub. If you're going to use custom code in your project, this is probably very useful if you understand it. GitHub. Here you can put your GitHub link and connect it with FlutterFlow. However, if you don't have, if you're going to only use low code, no code, and on the FlutterFlow, there is no need for you to know this destination of this button. You can download your code and open it on simple IDEs, and this will be available for you just like a simple app based on the code. So here all this code will be available as a project. And again, if you are not going to go deeper with code base, there is no need to know this button also. Here, if you make some errors during your project, and if FlutterFlow understands these errors, it will show you this. Here, for example, let's put your example. For example, let's put here, let's make error. For example, if you put here empty action, don't worry, we will explain all these details in the future. However, just to show you as an example, here error action not configured, not defined. So you can see it shows you, and if you click, it will open this action. And will suggest you to fix this error, and it will not run or put it in the test if you have certain errors. So you have to first fix these errors. This must have fixable errors. Let's fix it, for example. Let's just delete action. And you can see that there is no errors, and you can easily test and build your application. Also warnings. Warnings means it's not important error that would block you to run your app. This is just a suggestion from FlutterFlow that you have to get rid of this error in order to avoid future errors. This is just warnings to cause bad user experience, for example. Here, this is if you need some help, you can read community forums that we just watched in the first lesson, or you can write feedback right there to the developers of FlutterFlow, and they would respond you as soon as they can. Here you can write general feedback. You can request for some feature or bug. You can report some bug in the FlutterFlow. This is another very useful feature in the FlutterFlow. Here you can save your app's version. For example, you are going to experiment with some interesting feature, but you are not sure if it will affect your current version of your app, current buttons, for example, current functions. So you can just save current version. For example, let's write something and save this version. And it will be saved here with the date. In order to access these versions of your app, you just look at the history of your app. For example, here, these are all saved versions. You can, by clicking pick, you can just show how your project was built when you saved it at that time, and by restore, you can just restore it. It will open new version and restore your app. This is very useful when you don't want to lose current version of your app and its current functionalities, but you want to experiment with something, you want to change something in your pages. This is very useful feature in such situations. Also, we have search for basic and important commands. We have here, you can change canvas size of your project and test it how the screen and how all widgets inside your app will adapt to the new size. For example, there are different devices with different screen sizes, so how it will adapt to all of them. Or you can test it on basic screens, for the basic screens of the smartphones that are available in the market. For example, Galaxy S20, it has screen like that, and your app will look like this in S20 smartphone. In Pixel 3a, for example, it will look like this. You can also test it on iPad mini 5. It will look like this, and if you're going to develop app for iPad, you need to change, for example, this picture. Also, for web pages or for desktop applications, this is very useful for testing. Here you can see that it will look like this if you will build a website using FlutterFlow. However, mostly we need just smartphones. This is it for today's lesson. Thank you for your attention.